A new day, baby. We're here. We're live. Kinda, sorta.
Week 16.
Yep. Your grandma's sitting here with us. Rest in peace, babushka.
We back.
Yes.
Funny but foul.
Funny but foul.
Back
What's
at it
going
again.
on? Beautiful fucking Spanish music in the end.
Love it, man.
Right there. Fucking
Shout out
clipping
to
it down.
what's our boy's name? You want to shout him out real quick?
Shout out, bro. Shout out to my boy Roberto Povida. Brrr, yeah, baby. What's going on, dude?
It's a good week, man.
Is it a good week?
Remember when last week we were talking about shit and we're like, what do we think this week's gonna be like? And I made a prediction. I'm like, I think it's gonna be a good week. I think we're gonna have a major announcement on Tuesday about the fucking restrictions and all this shit.
Yep.
And what happened?
What happened?
Now you tell me what happened.
Dog, I've been so out of it this week.
Fuck you. No, you
I
haven't.
had a bad day today.
Okay,
and,
we're not talking about today. We're talking about this week because I was like,
Yeah, you're right, man.
I was like, guys, come
You're
Tuesday.
right. You're
come-
right, except one thing.
What?
The Heat aren't getting to Giannis, bruh.
That's true, actually. Yeah. Playoff predictions. That's not gone well for me this week, and we're gonna get into that in a second here. But in terms of like how I'm feeling great, man. Because that shit on Tuesday when, I mean, I didn't predict it. I was just listening to some like people talking about it, and I'm like, it feels like it's gonna be good shit. And then, Tuesday comes, we get that big announcement where it's like, all right, boys, ladies and gentlemen, we're looking like we're gonna be in a good place. We got this like 4-phase restart plan and all that shit. But that was fucking awesome.
I just had some of this. You saw Hector's disapproval of having some. I always bullshit and say, hey, no alcohol.
Every fucking time.
And I
Every
always end
time.
up sipping that wine, sipping that tequila,
The Hennessy.
the Hennessy. Yeah, man, we're looking at the brackets right now, boy. And, Clips looking good. Mavs can, I'm all about that Serbian power, you know.
Clips
you know
were
about me,
dicey,
right?
man.
No,
Clips
you
were-
know about me, right? Like, we all friends with Serbs
Yeah,
and
it's true,
shit.
it's true.
You know,
Fucking the purebreds.
yeah, we've done some illegal I've done some illegal activities with some Serbians.
Sure,
It's
sure.
all good. It
Yeah.
went south, but it's all good. We tried. That being said, what are you gonna say right now?
Well, no, I was gonna say that the Clippers were looking pretty dicey because they were down 2-0, and that was looking pretty like. Because going in, I don't say I was favoring the Clips, but I had them going in as like they'll probably do pretty well. I don't think they're gonna. I had them taking the series, and as soon as they went 2 up, I was like, you know what, that looking pretty. I mean, it's still looking pretty dicey because coming back 2-0 is still a big deal. That's not
Marriage.
Easy. That's not easy.
Both your boys are gonna lose. Remember this day. Remember this day.
I think the Nugs take it though.
29th. Remember this day.
I think the Nugs
Remember
are gonna.
this day. Well, Dallas is out. Okay, Dallas is out this round. Nugs
They're
and
up
Trail.
2-1. You still have them losing?
I say Clips coming back.
You think so?
I got a feeling. I got a
You think
feeling.
they got it in them?
Because if we're talking about the MVP here. We're talking about Paul George.
Yeah.
You telling me they can't fucking guard that kid?
Well, first of all, playoff Paul George, playoff P is fucking trash in the playoffs. If he can
This
prove me
season.
wrong, yeah. Well, in the last season, in the lockdown, he was absolutely put up trash numbers.
Well, a lot going on.
Yeah, sure, fine. But if he can turn it around and start doing what he needs to do, yeah, I think Clips got a good chance of taking that series. Dallas, they got a strong team, but it's really gonna be off the Doncic because he carries a big load for them. Like he really takes it on for the team, and I think I don't know how sustainable that is going to be against the Clippers, but they got it. I don't say they're going to take the series because I think that right now that's up in the air still.
Yeah.
If Dallas wins one more, that's it.
That's it.
Clippers ain't coming back from a 3-1 against Dallas. I don't see that happening.
I think Lakers came back from a 3-1 once. Or who was it? Was it Heat or Lakers?
Cleveland, bro.
Was it Cleveland?
on the Golden State.
That's right.
Yeah.
King James.
That's right.
He's a couple years absent, a couple years too late. But I still believe in King James and our boy, Anthony.
Davis.
Yeah.
That was a dicey game one for them. That was, they lost. That wasn't good.
Anthony
And
was
Davis
not
was
there.
playing like absolute garbage.
Well, he wasn't there, and you can also tell that they don't have a true post presence anymore.
But then at game 2, fucking Davis
Like,
drops a 30
The
bomb.
thing with Dwight I liked is that they had a post presence, but now they actually have none. Like Dwight gave him like a 30% post presence.
Games changed. The post game isn't as strong as it used to be.
It's a huge factor though. Like the reason Jokic is my bad is so successful is because he's good at the post.
He's
Right.
also fucking
He's a
best
facilitator
ever,
as well.
Best ever center assist like passer ever.
Take it. Yeah,
Ever.
passer.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying, passer, like, in terms of
facilitator for
assists,
sure.
No
Ball
center.
handling pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as a center, best ever passer.
Pretty good shooter too.
Yeah,
The only thing he doesn't have, he's not athletic
it's true.
at all.
It's true.
You're probably more athletic than him,
He's also 7 feet tall.
and you are like you're like above average, human being.
Sure.
Yeah. So Nugs, I say Nugs, take it.
Which other series are you actually closely watching? Which ones do you?
I'm
you
watching. I'm watching Knicks because of Rose and Trae Young's hairline. I got
we'll get
the,
into that in a
I
sec.
got the over and under on it going back an inch.
Jesus.
I'm watching Philly, but I'm just watching highlights because I know that they're gonna beat the Wizards.
Well, yeah,
But I
3-0.
like how Westbrook's playing. I'm also watching. I was watching the Heat and Bucks, but Bucks sweep.
again, yeah, that's gonna be Bucks sweep. Yeah.
So I mean, what it is?
Sorry, it is a Bucks sweep.
And then the other thing, that's it. I'm not watching Jazz. I'm not watching Nuggets at all because I don't care.
You watching Lakers?
That's my team.
Gotta do it.
That was my team in 08
Fuck the Lakers.
when fucking Kobe was getting like 60 points and the rest of the team was getting 20. Imagine watching those fucks then. Nobody's not passing to Kobe at that point.
Yeah.
It was scary, man. It was like
Yeah.
rape charges too. It was like, oh. And then this girl comes up with like 8 sperm counts, and you're like, bitch, you're a hoe. Come on, son.
How do you think the Knicks make it out of that?
No.
I think.
They
What I
don't
think their
have- they don't
biggest.
have enough chemistry.
You know what I think their biggest liability has been this series.
What's up?
Randall. Randall has been playing like absolute garbage.
Well, people think Randall's supposed to somehow, fucking perform like really well. People don't understand that like this guy in the Lakers, he was like coming off the bench and
Yeah, but
he was
he's
getting
been,
like
he's
6
played
points a game.
great this year though. Like
Yeah,
really decent numbers.
Like you said, playoff basketball
I
is
know.
different.
That's what I'm saying. So because when I was watching the games, I'm like the Knicks because they took a game away from the Hawks. So I'm like, okay, they got potential. But the thing is, I was looking at Randall's stat line. And I'm like, if Randall can't make it happen for himself, his team won't be able to win because there's not enough star power in that team to carry like these dips in performance from him.
Okay, Rose 2.0 isn't like Rose 1.0. Okay?
Well, that's what I'm saying. 'Cause,
so
like,
that's
yeah.
one. Other than Randall and Rose, who's there?
It's just a regular team. That's what I'm saying. It's
So
like, it's
they're
like
not gonna make it, bro.
RJ Barrett, decent, but not again. It's not the level of guy that's gonna like take you and like win games for you, right? You need everybody to come up, and especially Randall being the focal point. If he's not performing, you're basically fucked. It's like if the Jazz, all of a sudden Conley goes to shit and Gobert goes to shit. What? Who else? Who's gonna do it for you? Mitchell, I guess.
My grandma's gonna come out of retirement. I heard it's the word on the street.
But anyways, Trae Young's hairline, bruh.
Trae Young's goddamn
Bruh.
hairline, bruh. Jesus Christ, man.
He's what, 22, 21?
My guy, he is 22, sir. But he's like, okay, remember Maximovic? We
Yeah.
knew Maximovic was
Sure,
going to go
sure,
bald
sure,
in
sure.
grade 9.
Okay, fine.
When I came in that school for a fucking summer ball,
Yeah.
I saw Maximovic once, and I was like, that guy's just going to look like an old Italian dude that's bald. He's going to look like some guy out of The Soprano. He's
Sure.
going to be
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah.
background actor from The Sopranos.
Yeah.
So he's going to look like. So Trae Young, I mean, you got to understand. If we just go to endocrinology a little tiny bit right here, he's a fucking absolute beast when it comes to being athletic.
Yes.
Okay? So he's top tier 1% of the world.
Yeah.
Okay. So with that being said, you look at the guys that are top tier, Vince Carter, LeBron, him, Jordan, Kobe near the end. These guys are losing their hair because they have the genetic output for losing hair,
Sure.
and they have high ass testosterone because they're like premier athletes, right?
It's funny
So-
because like all the guys you mentioned have been, they electively went bald a long time ago. Like Jordan
LeBron did it.
rocked the shape. No, not LeBron, but like Jordan rocked the shaved head for a long time.
He was bald, bro.
No, but he rocked the shaved head since
For a long
before
time.
people noticed that he was like actually bald. Someone like Durant right
I don't
now.
think people back then actually. This is the problem with that. I don't think people back then actually had enough insight into, like, we're talking about the 80s and 90s. I don't think they had enough insight to MJ's life to be able to like even reconcile, like, okay, this guy's going bald.
Dude, no, 100% that's wrong. No way.
No, I mean, I watched the documentary as well.
People have been obsessed with baldness since the beginning of like forever.
I know that,
So
but
as
they're
soon
not.
as-
They're not looking at Jordan and saying, okay, let me skip over the fucking yesterday's stat line and let me go talk about this guy's hair.
Well, it's because we don't have tabloids like we do now.
That's what I'm saying.
Although
They didn't have
actually
the-
we do and we don't, because like nowadays it's all digital media consumption and it's like quick.
Mm-hmm.
So game happens and the next thing you know, 5 minutes later on Instagram there's a fucking crazy like a 3-page spread on whatever the fuck just happened.
Yep.
But back in the day, it'd be like at least a day or two turnaround because you have to wait for the fucking magazines or like the newspapers to publish it. Like, hey, no, Jordan going bald, more, you know what I mean? Like it is
Yeah.
just different speed of which information travels. But people have been obsessed with hair for fuck knows how long. My dad's been bald since like forever ago, and people have always been about that, like analyzing that for whatever reason since like he was a kid. So he's just like. That obsession people have with that, I think, has been a thing since forever. But anyways, what I noticed was funny is that, yeah, Jordan decided to, like, rock the shaved head since, like, what, early 90s? Early 90s, I think.
I think, like,
Because when he came on the league, he still had hair.
90, he started, 89 or 90, he started rocking it.
Yeah.
Rocking
And then,
it hard.
who are the other guys that you mentioned? You're like LeBron, Jordan,
Kobe, Vince
Carter.
Carter.
Carter rocked it, too, early on.
Yeah, like, after 2000s USA, he started rocking it,
Yeah.
which is weird because he had actually a really thick hairline.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. So
Which is weird.
Some of
I
these guys
think it's just voluntary.
decide. Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's just a matter of significance of these guys being premier athletes with high testosterone, having the genetic output to having, the DHT
Sure.
testosterone going to their hairline and it's going back. But basically,
What is Trae's options right now at this point?
Trey's option. Shout out to Derek from More Plates,
More Plates, More Dates.
Check out his fucking thing. But you could basically do a blood test, see where you're at, see where your blood, your DHT is, your free radical test, where it's going. Like, is it going to,
Yeah.
estrogen, whatever.
But I guess the real
or
question
DHT?
is, does he keep and do what you're about to suggest?
Listen,
or does
this
he
guy,
lose?
this guy
Keep or lose?
has millions of dollars. Get 17 hair transplants. You fuck.
Keep or lose? Because like this guy's in the middle of a playoff race. Do I just say fuck my hair and just like buzz that shit yesterday?
Listen, you can't because they're making fun of him right now. So you got to
True.
rock it till the end this
True,
season.
true,
Then
true.
summertime, what you got to do is you got to get all your hormones correct with like you got a bunch of fucking money. It's
why did you
endless
just like fucking just lose
Endless.
the hair?
Endless.
Or just lose the hair.
because you got millions. That's why.
He'll still have millions without the hair.
I know, but you have millions. So why don't you just fucking get more hair?
Another thing to worry about.
Why do you have to worry about it?
It's more time taken away from ball.
I guarantee you definitely takes like 2 to 3 weeks off ball. You need literally 1 day to take off ball and followed by like a week. And then after that, you're just like, it's just fucking scraping off.
You know what? Next episode, we're going to call in Trae Young. We're going to call in Trae Young and be like, bruh, you got to make a choice now. Keep or lose. Keep or lose.
Yeah, he's going to pick up, right? Fuck
Hell
outta
yeah, he
here.
is, man. I don't. What, you want me to call him right now?
No, man, save it for later. Yeah. Let me not burst your fucking bluff.
Okay, fine.
Let's get morbid, son.
You want to get morbid?
I want to get a little bit morbid.
You want to get real? Okay.
I want to get a little bit morbid. So where we live is like Vancouver-ish, BC.
Yeah.
And apparently, we don't have the full facts here. We don't know who ran the school or anything. But apparently,
Yeah, I heard about this earlier this week.
215 bodies have been discovered in a residential school. I'm literally reading the fucking label for an Indigenous children in Canada. So I guess the kids were Indigenous. They don't know yet. The facts aren't clear. I guess the school is Indigenous, but we don't know who ran it from 1909 to like 1968.
I mean, like,
we don't
we
know
do.
who the fuck
We
who
do.
ran it.
Well, okay. So do you know what a residential school is in general?
Yes.
Okay. So for the viewers that are uninformed and that aren't from the area,
And
to be fair,
Armand, who's lying because he doesn't really know.
and even people who are actually from BC, a lot of people, I didn't know this for a long time because they
Yeah.
don't actually teach this in schools. For some weird reason, we just like to ignore the fact that this ever
A
happened.
lot of
but
stuff, but yeah.
a residential school is essentially where the government would place Indigenous children for schooling. It's almost like it's basically segregation, is
Yep.
what it was. Racial segregation for kids from the ages of, I forget how young it went, like
3.
3 to 5, all the way up to like basically end of high school.
Yep.
And it was, they promoted it at the time. They're like, all right, this is going to be somewhere for you people to like, get educated. It's going to be a good place. And man, it was a...
What do you mean, you people?
That's exactly, right? But it harbored like some fucking terrible shit. I mean, we're looking at bodies here, like a body count of 215, which is, to be fair, we don't actually know what happened. Like, it might have been a planned graveyard. I don't know what the fuck. They're still investigating. I mean, they just uncovered these bodies through like they scanned the ground for whatever reason. They found all these bodies, but there have been numerous cases of published like, abuse of children. Fucking like everything that you can imagine that you could do terribly to a child has happened at these residential schools.
Robert Picton.
Yeah, like this kind of shit. And
fucking dark.
And it was run by the government.
Yep.
And administered, I don't want to say by the government officials, but like by people employed through the government, essentially.
Yeah,
and
selectively government.
And it was another way to keep indigenous people in their place and to not cause any problems and to just keep them away from like the general population. So fucking just shit all around, honestly.
Shit.
And the fact that they uncovered this is like, fuck.
Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's shit.
Sometimes maybe good.
And
maybe good
so
here.
you're telling me you're gonna come to my land and you're gonna take my land away, you're gonna rape my fucking family, you're gonna give us smallpox, you're gonna give us drugs, make us alcoholic, throw our inhibition out, you're gonna burn our fields, kill our people, then you're gonna make my kids go to some dumbass school, then they're gonna get raped and killed there with no evidence and no fucking notes or nothing?
Yeah.
Man. Trudeau, son. Trudeau.
And the government denied that all of this shit took place for the longest time.
Who did this?
Like, wait, who denied it?
Yeah.
The government, consistently. Like, when it would come up, be like, hey, were you guys behind this? I'm like, no, we didn't. We weren't.
God damn it.
We weren't part of this. And they also never acknowledged the fact that these events ever took place. They'd be like, no. We only, built the schools and brought the teachers, but there was there have never been any cases of abuse or rape or killings or anything. They never admit until, like, honestly, I think I want to say like about 10 years ago.
Jesus Christ.
After these places have been closed now for the last like 50 years, did they finally acknowledge that they're like, okay, you know what? Yeah, we fucked up. Not like we, because,
they're not going to say that.
But the we from before.
Yeah.
And it's a tragedy all around, man. And I don't know how the fuck they're going to fix this, because they came up with, there's something called the Truth and Reconciliation Council, which is a government-appointed board to, like, investigate the causes and, like, the events that transpired and all this, and to try and, because, reconciliation, to try and reconcile with the fucking native population that got
what happened to them.
Ass fucked.
Yep.
And it's still going on right now, right? Like, they haven't really figured out a way. Because how do you say sorry for this?
You can't. Just like slavery, man.
Yeah, like how do you say sorry? You don't say sorry to this shit, man. This is terrible.
You can't.
You can't be like, oh yeah, sorry, like we're all good, right?
Yeah. It's
not
like
how they fix this. I don't know.
You can't. There's certain things you can't fix. And
or like how do you make better? I don't know.
At this point, I mean, people have such a turnaround rate with like human life.
Yeah.
That at this point, I mean, there's no turnaround rate. I think an apology would be, suffice. I think also. More background information will also be suffice. Just like, give these people the respect that they deserve.
More land,
3-year-old kid,
money.
Bro.
I don't know.
3 fucking year old. What the fuck can a 3-year-old kid do that deserves to die? Shit, eat, cry, sleep.
That's it.
What the fuck in these 4 things can you find so much error that you kill this kid?
And I
guarantee you, the kid wasn't just killed. It was like brutally molested or something
Probably.
like this. And then, these things don't just. It's not like just some guy comes stab you on the forehead. Mm-hmm. It's not like Army of the Dead with Batista.
You know what I mean?
That one fucking scene where he's stabbing his fucking wife.
Saw that.
But quick story. Batista was a scary ass fucking zombie guy, man. Remember near the end? I don't know if you watched near the end. He eventually turned.
I watched the whole thing.
Spoilers alert.
Yeah.
Fucking guy fucking turns zombies.
Yeah.
Scariest fucking guy. 6'5", 290 on the Sazul.
Did you see him when he was at his saucy peak?
Oh yeah, when he used to shake the fucking
fucking oh my god, the
SmackDown.
Ropes? Yeah. Oh man,
he had veins on his chest, like it was like Veracruz veins or some shit.
Scary,
disgusting.
Man.
I've seen smaller veins on a 70-year-old in a senior home with like standing for 30 years on her feet. But yeah.
Speaking of drugs.
Speaking of drugs, man.
How do we see this prediction in terms of our new outlook on the vaccinations, essentially, for the coronavirus?
Well, do we want to be positive or do we want to be realistic?
Listen, I want to stay on the positive side because we had positive vibes last weekend. Turned out to be actually pretty decent. Let's keep at that.
All right. So what this means, boys and girls, is that September we don't have to wear masks. So masks suck my dick. So that stock is gonna go down just like Bitcoin did. So pull out now while you can. Secondly, schools are probably gonna go back to normal.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff's gonna happen. There's some extra shit I want to talk about in the next segment, but we can leave it as basically things are gonna start going back to normal
quicker than we think.
Because I predicted 2023.
Yeah, dude, that was a
by the looks of it.
take.
I'm holding on to that hot fucking take for this fucking reason. I don't trust the government.
Fair enough.
You know, and they say all this shit, and you know, because like Bonnie Henry is all over the fucking map, right? It's like she's having periods every 2 days. It's just initially she told us no mask, now fucking stay home. Now fucking it's been a fucking year and a fucking bit. So suck my dick on that shit. But who the fuck knows, man? Who am I to fucking judge on pathology and what the fuck that's gonna happen?
Yeah.
But that being said, man, this is like good shit, man. Mid-July.
Because what are the numbers they're predicting? Like, what is it? 5 mil? Oh.
5 mil by end of summer are gonna get double dose. So that means
that's a big deal. Because what's the population of BC? Like 7 mil? Right?
No, it's 5.7 or 5.07.
Is that so?
Yeah. So they're talking
like the
about
adult population. Sorry.
Yeah. So they're talking about like. Actually, I think the entire population. I'm not sure how they do populace.
I mean, just take a census, bro. It's not that hard.
Hey,
we just fill them out.
Hold on. Do we have to fill that shit out?
Yeah, you do. You can get either
$500
fined or some shit. Yeah.
What kind of communist shit is that?
Do your
dude?
citizens' duty, motherfucker, and just do your fucking census.
Fuck that, bro.
You know, in the home country, you know, I don't know if they do this like the same way in Iran. But over in Peru, and this is kind of a funny story I ran through with my buddy. They do it in person, door to door.
I wouldn't mind that because I would definitely fuck with them.
They have volunteers.
They'd be like, "How big is your penis?" I'd be like, "Yo, it's 16 inches."
And they're like, "All right, let's see."
I'd be like, "You gotta get on your knees and open your mouth. That's the only way it's coming out."
We're not here to feel. We just want to see it.
Okay, but they have to do that. I'd be like, it's like a snake. It gets aroused, and you need to be on your knees in a specific position with your butthole open for this to happen.
How do they do this in Iran? The same deal, or how do they do census over there?
They don't fucking
give
they
a
do.
Fuck. Shut the fuck up.
You think they give a fuck? Bro,
listen.
A lot of the shit that's going on are just based on people keeping count of mortality rates. And
listen, don't get into me with your reasons. No one gives a fuck about that. I'm just saying, do they do some kind of census in Iran?
No, they actually don't because they don't have the reach to like reach a fucking village.
What do you mean? You think... How the fuck do you think they do it in Peru? They gotta go to fucking jungles, my guy. They gotta go to the mountain to do some of these census reports.
Yeah, people don't care that much in Iran.
I don't know you know anything about this.
I know definitely for a fact there's no consensus, or what is it called?
Oh my god,
census. Census can suck my senses.
All right, you know what?
Listen, okay.
Well, we're gonna look into this.
Statistics, okay, in Iran are definitely skewed. I can guarantee you this because there's lots of stuff that is just news today. If you like Google stuff about Iran and then you call Iran like I can and fucking
just call Iran.
Yeah, like call my cousins and shit that are like live in the middle of the biggest city and be like, "Hey, was there a fucking revolution today?"
Yeah.
And they'd be like, "No, motherfucker, I just went to my mom's house and scratched my balls for 20 minutes." You know what I mean? You can find out the truth, right?
Sure.
To a degree. Now, have I in 27 years have I ever heard of them fucking walking around and be like, "Hey, how do you feel about this topic?"
That's not
bitch.
what a census is,
okay,
motherfucker.
But,
first of all,
okay, they're coming around and be like, "Hey, how many people live here?"
Yeah, that's basically
No, they don't fucking do that shit because, like, bro, people move from house to house every day.
Listen,
over there.
I understand what you're saying, but you're talking to me as if I don't understand that because that is the same shit in Peru.
I know.
It's not some sort of like first world country that's like super developed and like all this other shit.
Peru, I think, actually isn't as corrupt as Iran.
It's pretty corrupt. Bro.
I think Iran is
one of our presidents
really corrupt.
He's fucking hiding out in Argentina right now because of war crimes.
Who?
Look, pull this up right now. We'll get into it for like 5 minutes.
All right.
Yeah. Now you're interested. Look up
criminal. I'm down.
Fujimori. That was one word. And Mori. Yeah, Alberto, my boy Alberto.
How the fuck do we know this guy?
Is the president of Peru? You fuck.
I know, but he's not one of our boys. Just I thought I got excited because I thought you were like talking about one of our friends. I was like,
no,
goddamn.
man, no.
Well done, sir.
I said one of the presidents.
Yeah. So he's in. He looks Chinese, bro.
He's Japanese.
And he's the Peruvian president?
Yeah. That we'll get into this topic on another day because it's actually pretty interesting.
Hold the fuck on.
Yeah.
Tell me the short side of this. This is more interesting than the rest of the shit.
There is a very, very large Chinese and Japanese immigration population in Peru.
Okay,
for various reasons.
Hold on. That I know that because in Brazil there's the same thing, and
for different reasons though.
Yeah, but whatever it might be. Whether it's because of war, because of whatever, immigration, whatever.
One of the largest Chinatowns in the entire world is in Lima.
Yeah,
actually.
same with Cuba. There was a big one there too. Until 1959, apparently was one of the biggest ones.
Well, that's like 50 years ago. I'm talking like until recently.
I know that,
it was
but
like
I'm saying,
it was like San Fran.
You see the same thing happening in other Spanish countries. Is my point.
Yeah, I guess, but Peru's unique. Like you don't see this in Ecuador.
You're just saying this because you're from Peru.
No, because I've been to South America, unlike you.
Okay, well, dude,
and I have friends from South America.
I got criminalities. Leave me alone.
So, like, Ecuador doesn't have this phenomenon. Neither does Bolivia. Neither does like Chile, really. But okay.
So they can vote on an immigrant.
Of course, yeah.
Wow, America, catch up.
Well, because
bitch.
like you can do. What does immigrant mean?
This guy isn't a born citizen.
I think he was actually. Go back to his fucking. His daughter's actually running for president right now. They got the runoff elections in a couple of weeks. Yeah, he was born in Lima.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So anyways,
he speaks like fully fucking.
Oh, dude. There's a couple of Peruvian restaurants here in Vancouver. The owners are Chinese, because they're Chinese Peruvians, and they speak like perfect Spanish.
Peruvian.
Spanish.
Peruvian.
But anyways, the long and short is yes, he is a Japanese descent Peruvian who got elected.
University of Wisconsin, Milwaukee.
Yeah, some of these guys are really educated.
I don't know about Wisconsin, Milwaukee being super educated. I just think
one of the
it's odd that he studied in
a lot
America.
of these guys go to the States for university degrees because there's a lot of like scholarships that get offered to Peruvians. Not a lot, but like a few.
Yeah.
And so guys will like fight for one of the ex-presidents.
Hey, hold on. Between what you're saying, so you think these guys sponsor this guy, thinking it's gonna be like some Latin guy, and it turned out to be some fucking Japanese guy on the plane?
No, because you can see his name. Yeah, they're like Fujimori. Like, that's pretty fucking obvious.
Like, what the fuck?
One of the other ex-presidents of Peru, his name's I think it's Toledo. He went to Stanford. Some of these guys are like pretty educated or whatever, right?
Yeah,
but anyways,
they have ties as well. Might be it.
Fujimori got. If you look up really quickly in Wikipedia, because I don't want to say shit that's wrong, but it's either he got tried and arrested or like exiled. I think it's exiled. Yeah, right there. Scroll up a bit. It's in his summary. Yeah, right there. 2017. Oh, he got pardoned.
Granted, 79 Fujimori. A humanitarian pardon, you lucky bitch. A pardon was overturned by Peru's
They're corrupt, man. It's some weird shit
Supreme Court on the 3rd of blah, blah, blah. Ordered back to prison on 23rd of January 2019. Fujimori was sent back to prison to complete his sentence, with his pardon being formally annulled 3 weeks later. So he just went to prison for 3 weeks.
After being in there for like 9 years, 10 years, because it was in 2009.
Under Peruvian law, all sentences around countries, those maximum.
Anyways, Peruvian president got sent to at one point he was exiled. He left. I think he dipped to like Argentina or something, and then they had to like send him back.
Is his daughter hot or no?
Not really. She's running for president right now. Actually, nope, wrong.
Kenji,
not the daughter. Keiko is and she's currently running. Yeah,
I mean. Not
the point of the conversation.
But
the only thing that I was saying, the whole point of this, how we got here, was I was like, it's really funny how they do the census in Peru because it's door to door. And I remember going through this literally with a friend of mine, with our boy actually. We went to Peru to travel and to see the sites, all this shit. We had no idea they were running the census that year. And so what they do for the census is when they're running it in their whatever like couple days that they do it,
I'm
not allowed to leave the house. Can't do anything.
Wow.
So you got to stay in place. So we had plans to go see Machu Picchu, to go travel, like all this stuff. And then like, oh yeah, census on the weekend. So you got to actually stay in, can't do shit, can't go anywhere. And I'm like, fuck.
God damn it.
Yeah. But anyways, back to the original. So it looks like we're in a good place.
we're in a good place. We're feeling good.
Yeah.
We're feeling hot. You know
Super
what I
hot.
mean? We got vibes in the background, but you won't hear it because YouTube is a piece.
So now, based on the fact that this looks like it's going to be cleared up
Yep.
by like September, like let's assume that.
Yep.
What do we think about, or what do you think about how this is going to look like in general going forward? Because now it looks like we're actually pretty close to that next normal, or that next step in whatever this
Yeah.
transition is.
Yeah. Do we want to go into the video or do we want to just talk about it?
Just talk about it. So I
Okay.
guess
So-
I'll just say it. We
Yep.
both watched a video by this guy called Peter. I think it's Thiel or Thiel.
Keep talking. I'm gonna bring some stuff.
Who was a partner of Elon Musk back in the day with like PayPal and all that stuff. So he's like a big time investor now. He's got billions of dollars, and he made his bank back in the PayPal days. But basically, the video talks about what his views and opinions are on this potential new transition we have into the new normal that people have been talking about for so long. So the idea being that will some of these old institutions that have existed for a long time either fundamentally change or go away? At one point, the video talks about how, you got people paying $50,000 a year for university tuition to get a Zoom education. And that seems a bit strange because why are you paying that much to just get a fucking online degree? Easily charge a tenth of that or whatever. And then the video kind of goes on in terms of like what current people's outlooks are and what they want in this next step. Because right now, most people are working, like I'm kind of half and half right now, but most people are working from home. Most people are doing that. They're at their school.
Not me, motherfucker.
Yeah, okay, not you, motherfucker. But most people are doing some schooling from home, and we've touched on this in podcasts before. But now that it's getting close and it's getting like it's gonna be probably a real thing pretty soon, it's just interesting to see about what this will actually look like going forward. And I know that at one point he also makes a contention that the idea of like the big city lifestyle may not be a thing anymore because a lot of the incentives that people
Telecommunication.
a lot of the incentives that people look forward to in these big cities aren't really as an incentive as much as they were before.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I don't actually fully agree with some of the things that he said because he's like, these metro regions like your Torontos, your New Yorks, your whatever, it's not going to be as much of a draw to people because why are you going to pay an absurd amount of rent to live in some piece of shit apartment just so you can be in that big city when you can, spend that money
Wisconsin.
get a bigger place, do all these other things. But
A couple thousand acres.
personally, when I listen to this guy, you can very much tell that he's an investor because how the way that he talks about things is very not just factual, but very money based and broad based. But
one thing I gotta say is like, guys like this are emotionless.
thank you for saying that. I was just gonna get into that.
Cyborgs.
I think he ignores the human aspect of a lot of the things that he talks about. So
Yeah.
he kind of overlooks a lot of things that no longer matter to him.
But these guys aren't the type of guys that are going to be in like Venice. These guys aren't the type of guys that are going to be partying
Not
in
only
Florida
that, it's just
or
like-
New York or stuff like that. They're fucking they're like our buddies, fucking introverted
more
guys.
so, no, more like even way more.
I know
way
that,
more
but
out
I'm
the spectrum.
saying we like you are more introverted compared to me, and our buddies are introverted compared to us, and this guy is even more introverted compared to our buddies.
Sure.
So he's not gonna be like, oh, let me go to the party scene. Like this is the last guy you're gonna see there. You know what I mean? He is about investments, properties,
Sure.
sales, income, revenues, all that shit. So of course he's gonna say it. To a point, I think he's correct. I think he's also trying to push people in a certain way.
Yes.
just
Yeah,
like
you can feel that.
Elon
You
is.
can feel that for sure.
With that Bitcoin shit, that was a push and a
course.
pull.
Yeah, yeah.
Once he had it at 79, everybody's it's going up, going up, going up. Oh,
Yeah.
All my retarded buddies that are like mechanics and fucking CNC workers and machinists and shit. Even those guys are fucking into fucking. They don't have
course.
Facebook and
It's fucking mainstream
yeah.
as fuck. Yeah.
So they're going in. I never got in because I know it was hocus pocus.
Yes and no.
It is hocus pocus.
What
when-
is hocus pocus?
If you don't go in the beginning, it's hocus pocus.
Sure, but when
Like,
is that
like
beginning?
2 years ago, if I went into it, I'd be paying 27 grand.
Sure.
And it'd be at 79 G's. And I'd be like, oh, it's keep going to go up. And then Elon's going to pull out. I'm going to get 44. Now, do I still win? Yes. But that 27 G's is held up there, right? So that being said, this song is just putting me off my mood, bro. That 27 grand is held up.
Sure.
So, you know about this. You're a sales guy. So
Yeah.
you don't want revenue held up there if if it's only producing so much money when you can actually pull it out at the right time. Now,
hold on a second. I think that's a weird way to conceptualize an investment.
okay, I understand that, but
So you're saying you don't want it locked in if you can't pull it out. Is that what you're saying?
you can pull it out.
That's what
It's
I'm saying, yeah,
not
'cause
my
you can.
It's not my
So,
point.
no,
My point is this: it's 27 grand that you could probably invest into. The long run of Bitcoin isn't good.
No.
Bitcoin is like here and now and
Sure.
wait and sell. That's the guideline of
But
Bitcoin.
it is a way of making money.
I understand
Yeah,
that.
it is.
But a guy like us, you bought a house. Everybody trying to buy a house. Me, you guys bought apartments and stuff. I'm not really down for apartments.
Sure.
But let's say I was.
Mhm.
That 27 grand would definitely come in handy.
Yeah.
Right now, long-term investments. Would you rather put 27 grand in Bitcoin?
Oh yeah,
or you
no.
wanna put 27 grand and buy a house? Me personally, long-term investments, I would say house.
For sure.
So that being tied up and you thinking about it and stressing it, there's like videos on Vine on how it goes up 12,000, comes down 7,000, goes up 20,000, comes down like 30,000. Like,
Yeah.
these things, they're not something, it's fun while it's going,
Yeah.
but because it's so fast and reluctant on like stability,
Yeah.
it's hard to really put it in terms. I mean, if you're a winner of it, great, good for you. Like you said, you had a buddy that said some shit. He's always winning or whatever. So that guy probably bought at like $500 or whatever, let's say, but he's winning. But that being said, I think this Peter guy, he's probably
Pushing something.
He's probably pretty close to what's going to happen. As far as it not going back as soon as we think, things no longer being able to go back. They're steered a different direction now.
I think
To a certain degree, I think.
Yeah, there's some things that he said that I agree with, some of his takes, and some of them that I'm not convinced of just yet because I just don't see it in the sense
I think
of
he's pushing a certain way.
definitely.
If you take that push away, I think the rest of the stuff that he's saying is fairly correct.
There are
He seems like he thinks about it a lot too, man. Like
probably yeah.
He doesn't seem like he's just blurring shit out.
No,
like
no.
Charlemagne the God or Joe Rogan. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh
Like,
shit, dude. He's got like fucking billionaire investor and no fucking.
I know that, but like when you see Elon's podcasts or like
Elon is not a billionaire investor. He's just a billionaire for other things. But like these investors,
I understand that.
different mindset that they have.
Yes, but the thing that I could say that is similar is that they take time to process information
For sure.
and try to repair any kind of conversation because they're thinking about this in like 15 terms, right? It could go this way, this way, this way, this way, this way, this way. So if you look at guys like that, like Elon more so than this guy,
Yeah.
but still, like these guys are like miles ahead of like regular thinkers. You know what I mean? That's why they are where they are. You know, they see things coming that would never come.
Yes and no, because these guys also get a lot of shit wrong. Not to say that they're wrong.
Yeah,
like,
but
I'm
more
not.
right than us.
Yes and no. Just because you have extreme success in one area does not mean that all of a sudden you're just right about everything that you say.
No,
So,
it's not.
if
But
you-
that ability to be good in one area is something that 99% of people lack.
Sure, but
People can't specialize.
I understand. But that doesn't go against what I just said because I'm saying if you're a super high profile investor or
I'm agreeing with you though.
Or-
I'm
yeah,
not
yeah.
saying I'm not saying
so
you're wrong.
I guess what I'm saying is just to watch out for people that just when they say something you disagree, it's like, oh yeah, let's just agree with it right away because some of these people do that a
Is
lot.
that marriage?
Yeah.
Put him on.
Yo,
Are you still at Armand's?
hell yeah, you're live on the podcast. Say what's
bitch.
Up.
What's up?
Say what's up.
Can you bring me something to drink when you're on your way back? I'm pretty thirsty.
Yeah, okay, sure. Anything else?
Yo, what kind of bitch made shit is this? Did you lose a bet?
Yes. Yeah. What else do you want to say on the podcast?
Wow, dude. Yo, your boy Jokic is gonna go up to next round, but he's gonna lose like a bitch.
Just need some. I'm just thirsty.
Oh, I want to try something.
Yeah.
Plug it in. Hold on. We're I want to see if this works.
Here. Yo.
Yo, can you hear us?
Wow.
Oh. Okay, this is cool.
Shout out. Yo, talk to us a little bit, you fuck. I know
It's-
you're not doing dick all.
Yeah, it's
and
okay. You don't have to be
you're not
super
on a
interesting.
hike This guy always says some shit
We-
about being on a hike, being on thing. Let me give this motherfucker proper introductions. One of the reasons I went to software was because I wanted to do a podcast, and the other reason was because marriage kind of convinced me one way or the other, involuntarily.
Shout out to Marriage.
Shout out to marriage. Marriage, what do you think, man? What's going on with this playoffs? You fuck. What's going on? What the fuck?
Did we lose? Yo, can you hear us? I think we just lost our boy.
We lost our boy, did we?
We either lost us or either we lost him or he lost us.
Or he lost interest.
Or he lost interest. Oh. Hello?
Take it out, put it back in.
Yeah, maybe.
Yo,
Oh, there we go.
this is Chagabashlu.
Can you hear us now? Oh, okay, sweet. Arma was just asking, what are your playoff takes right now? How do you see this going? Do you see all the purebreds making it through or what? All the way?
All
Oh.
the way to where? Port Coquitlam? Where's he going?
You think so?
I do.
So you think fucking Jokic is going where? Is
No,
it
it getting taken out because that means
Conference
finals.
conference finals, and then what?
Well, then Doncic is going to the finals,
Oh yeah,
and then the Nets are going to make it out of the East.
yo dog, your boy
And-
Doncic is losing hair, son.
I don't think he is.
And then, well,
He's got a peak.
I don't think he cares when he just
No, he's a
stacking
billionaire. He doesn't
fat
give a fuck.
stacks.
Fat
And
stacks on bitches, bro. How famous is this guy in Serbia?
Well, he's not from Serbia. He's
Where's he?
Slovenian. But
Oh, but Slovenia, Slomavia, you know, all the same. Fuck. It's like being famous in Iraq.
okay.
You're famous in Iran, you know?
Is that how it works?
Oh yeah, fuck yeah. You got a
Okay.
you got a fucking red fucking Persian carpet. Everybody knows you. Come on, son.
All right,
can you just bring me some refreshments? Sorry.
sure. When are we
Thanks.
going to see you on this podcast, my guy?
Sorry.
When are we going to see you on this podcast?
We gotta get you to shave your hair, son.
I don't know. We'll see.
When are you ready, bro? I got some anti-dandruff shampoo if you need it.
Ooh.
You know, I'll clean you up nice and tight, bro. I'll give you even a shave on those eyebrows, those fucking voluptuous eyebrows, right? You got right there. You know what I
I'll
mean?
pass on the eyebrow shaving. Yeah, I'll see.
We'll catch you soon, bro.
We'll
maybe
catch
soon.
you soon, bro.
Okay,
Good
see
hearing
ya.
from you, man.
Bye.
Bye.
All right,
Bye.
peace.
That was interesting. That actually worked.
Yeah. We got to fix this cord, though. Other than that, that was good.
That was. We're going to have to drop the...
Yes.
input.
We
Yeah,
got to
there.
drop that way down.
Actually, yeah, that means the beginning didn't get caught. 'Cause,
It's okay. The beginning
fine.
was
It's
fucking
whatever.
fucking rough anyway. Anyway, put that down on the fucking podcast notes. We got to get one of those. This.
Oh, yeah. We'll do.
Okay, moving on. Ellen Page.
Spark up for this shit. Jesus.
Say no more, my man. Say less.
Say less.
Say less. This I don't know what's the gender here. I don't want to get this wrong, man.
Elliot. Just go by Elliot.
Elliot?
Yeah.
Okay. Elliot Page, a new man with he had
Formerly known as Ellen Page.
Yeah,
So,
so-
most people have known
So
Elliot.
let's look up Ellen Page real quick. People might not know who this is.
You know what's funny? If you Google that, it's not going to show up as Ellen Page. It's gonna be Elliot Page that you look up. There you go. Autocorrects.
Wow, so this girl literally turned
That was. You ever-
wow.
Yeah.
She was hot. Decent, at least. All right. Well, I guess that's no more.
Elliot did quite a few movies back. I don't think he acts anymore. They used to a long time ago.
Well, those abs act. So what happened? Do you know anything about this?
I have actually no idea how this. You gotta explain this to me. Whether it's like SARMs, fucking whatever. the fuck.
Okay, boys and girls, we're gonna go
Jesus
dark
Christ.
hole in this rabbit, bro. This is a glory hole. Okay, it's a glory hole into fucking SARMs and fucking.
Yeah, give me some of that, man.
DNA
Just for
splitting.
this, Jesus.
Okay. So basically, this girl, I don't want to, offend anybody. I'm just trying to say a girl literally went and had their tits removed, and I'm guessing they went on some type of hormones, and they got fucking abs. So these abs, if you look closely, they kind of look weird. They don't look. They're too symmetrical. Not that they're too symmetrical. They just guy like that.
Are they implants?
They are.
Oh, they are.
Yeah. So a guy like that will never have those hard rock abs. Like it doesn't symmetrically fit the physique. Now, are they symmetrical? Yes, they are. But does it fit the physique? No. Because you would have to have some type of athletic background
to get
have,
the abs. Yeah.
Especially those type
ones.
of abs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Those kind of like developed abs
Thick.
do not match the person that it's on. Fair enough. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
But do I hate on it? I mean, no. I think it's too bad, but not that it's too bad, but it's a shame to me when hot girls do that. But if that's what you want, like if you're like lesbian, you're literally out of my league, right? So
I mean, most girls out of your league, but okay.
Okay, well, whatever. But what I'm saying is, I no longer can do anything about it. So
Yes.
it's like
Yeah.
I don't really care at that point. So it's like if you want to turn into a man, whatever, turn into a man. If that makes you happy, great. But I would want to know like full blood panel for her or him now versus what he used to be.
When you say used to be, like before the transition or like after, because he's definitely on some.
Before, mid, like during
Yeah.
transition, and now.
I am kind of aware, but I know that the hormonal, like all the drugs that they take or that they have to take for during this transition, even after.
What do they have to take?
Are intense, man.
What do they have to take? Tell me
They're
what
gonna
they
take.
take.
I'm talking up straight on my ass here. I hope we can just Google some of this stuff so I don't look like a fucking idiot. But I know they get like.
I'll correct you.
If you're transitioning into a guy, you gotta go on heavy test. Like heavy.
Well, that's all you're taking, right?
Yeah.
So you're taking test and you're taking some AI and Novadex, not to get gyno again, because
Yeah.
if you're a girl initially, you're gonna have higher receptors than men
Yeah.
to have gyno, right? So if she's taken out or he took out his tits, and so he's gonna have susceptibility to that, and you can just tell by his like muscle features now. This guy is like a skinny dude, almost
But
anorexic.
he's starting to get some delt receptors in there. Those
Well,
were not
yeah,
there before,
but that's. I mean, it's really hard to tell from any of the pictures out there. It doesn't look like any delt receptors right now. That looks like a bone.
No, but like there's some. Like
There's
look,
caps, yes.
Yeah.
But dude,
no, I'm talking. I know, but
they're like okay.
I'm
if
saying-
I was on, if I was on what he is on right now, I guarantee you I'd be pushing 225.
no shit. But you didn't start off as a woman.
I know that, but what I'm
That's
saying
what I'm
is
saying.
he is on a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for
Like
sure.
we're talking close to bodybuilder dosage.
I don't know
possibly.
about that. I don't know about that.
We're not talking like 50 like
Because the
one and
thing
a
is
half
here,
grams. We're talking like
you have to
500 milligrams plus.
You have to remember that for the bodybuilders, there's a choice to enhance certain things about them. Like whether you're a guy trying to be more, or whether you're a girl bodybuilder.
Okay,
trying
let
to,
me
I
explain
guess,
one
do more.
thing. Let me explain one thing before you say anything, because I'm forgetting to switch this, so I just want to
Sure,
say this
sure.
thing and then switch on to you. A regular man between the ages of 15 to 20, which is end of adolescence into adulthood,
Yeah.
has anywhere from the equivalent of 100 to 150 milligrams of test a week. Now, that's what I'm guessing this person takes, and because that they are used to be a woman, they probably need even less. Now, pound for pound, he probably weighs 70 pounds. So 70 pounds, not 70 pounds, but
I
like
know what you're saying.
110
I know
pounds,
what you're saying.
120 pounds.
Sure.
150 to 100 grams or 100 milligrams of test a week.
On
and
that
if they-
size body.
That
Yeah.
size body is like me at 210 taking, 300, 400. That's past TRT doses.
Yeah.
Right? So now I'm at super physiological levels, right? So now I have to take AIs, now I have to look at other shit, now I have to think about my hair, now I have to think about my liver. So are they doing this like these transgender stuff? Yeah, I know it's under a doctor's watch, but all these doctors know all these results because a lot of these drugs are still under research. A lot of these drugs they don't know anything about. They don't have long-term studies because the FDA, they don't have actual studies on humans, so they don't know how it works.
I think they may have, because this has been a thing for a very long time now.
Yes, test. Yes. Aside that, your prolactin, progesterone,
I'm talking about the
estrogen.
procedures and the recipes that these people are under have been done for a
Now,
long
have
time
we
now.
not seen a lot of suicides. I don't know if that's linked to the drugs
I don't know
or
if we're just
not.
gonna say that's a whole other fucking. Anyways, what I was gonna say is that their routine that they have to be on, like their regimen,
Right.
is done with a different like idea in mind because they understand that they're in this for life. Like you're transitioning into another sex with the idea of that.
What's the percentage of these people doing this in terms of
like who identifies and then who actually goes through this whole thing?
yeah,
It's not as high as you think. It's low because this is a fucking like this is a big
this
deal.
is irreversible.
It's a big deal. It's a huge
It's
commitment.
literally irreversible.
For more than a few reasons.
Once your jaw grows, you're done.
One is the mental aspect, the mental commitment that you're gonna do on this. The other is monetary. This shit ain't cheap, and especially in the States, you're paying for all this shit
Yeah,
out of
but
pocket almost.
Most of these people are either
We're not talking. We're not
Yeah.
talking about famous people,
yeah,
bro. Think
okay.
about like regular people. That
Yeah,
do this,
okay, fair.
right?
Yeah.
So like regular people that identify as whatever.
And there's no health care over there, and you can't even insure this. Give me 2 more.
Don't tell me what to do. But yeah, they have to go through a lot, and so it's a huge commitment. So not as many transgenders as you think will actually go through the whole process of being a transsexual, where they actually go through the whole gender reassignment therapy.
So I don't understand. What does it mean, transsexual?
Transsexual means you're actually physically going from one sex to another. So you're physically turning from a man to
Transitioning from sexualities.
from that's
I
something
guess.
sexes. So a sex
Okay,
is
right.
male or female.
Okay,
in terms of
gotcha.
like the physical sex that you
Gotcha.
right? Also, no, the light. And then the gender is just like, this new age, what you identify as, because, even though you're
Right.
physically,
Nothing to do
whatever.
with biology at all.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
not. It's just, how you basically how you feel. So
Yeah.
percentage of transsexuals that exist out of people that are originally just transgender is not that high.
Are you talking out of your ass? Because we're going to get flagged for this. That community's heavy.
Yeah, you're right.
That community's heavy.
I can say for sure. 'cause
Retract everything,
No,
guys.
not retract everything. No. Yeah, you're right. I should be careful with what I say. But
careful.
I have been told certain things because I do have some friends who are transgender, and I know friends of friends who have been through the whole reassignment, male to
Yeah.
female, female to male, and of the people that have told me about this whole like gender reassignment therapy, all
Right.
that stuff, it's heavy shit
Yeah.
for a lot of it. Like in the mental aspect, like I said, the monetary aspect, it's a big deal, and so not everyone's cut out for it. And you don't have to, right?
Yeah.
Because there are some people that even do like partial. So like, if you're transitioning from,
Yo, smoke that weed.
if you're
Come on, man.
like I'm talking at the
I
same
know.
time.
Take a puff. Talk. Yeah, they're transitioning. I see what you're saying. You got some points, but what I think is interesting is that these people actually have transgender studies, which I think in the future, like personally, I'd be interested in if they have an actual culture, like actual universal culture, like Iranians do.
Dude, from a learning aspect of things,
I would want
this
to learn
shit
it.
is super interesting.
I would want to
Like
learn
so
it.
interesting. Like
Yeah.
you don't have to, and what I mean is, you don't have to agree with this to learn about it. And I think a lot of people get that shit twisted because they're like, oh, you have to. It's like no, but there's a huge aspect of this that is just amazing to learn from an information understanding point of view. So I agree with you there. Like, yeah, it'd be great to just like go through the whole thing, like from a straight facts perspective.
Yeah, I
Just go
think
through the whole thing.
people eventually are gonna
Yeah.
do this. One thing I saw on Rogan this week was interesting. Was he was saying that there's points in history and artifacts, not artifacts, but like points of research that has come up in digging up historical information from the past,
Yeah,
how
yeah,
it was
yeah.
written down and whatever. Most of these civilizations, they're kind of dead end to their civilization, where the civilization completely fell and just
Sure.
was never heard of again, was gender.
What do you mean?
The topic of gender became the main point of a civilization, became the loudest voices.
Can you
was
give an example?
Gender.
Any examples?
I mean, I'm talking out of my ass. I'm just talking about something I listened to like 50% accuracy
Because
on.
this reminds me of something else in terms of like what masculine.
So they basically went
You're good.
went to gender, focused on gender, like the same thing that's going on now.
Sure.
Similarly has happened, relatively different, but close to what that civilization and how complex it was, the people generally went towards gender as that's the most important idea, or that's the most important thing to spend their time on.
I'd just be interested to like see that, like if you could point out any example, because one of my, not some people that I talk to know about this, but I spend a lot of my free time studying history. To me, it's just super interesting. I love learning about human history in ancient civilizations, kind of modern civilizations as well, but like in the like AD period, like after in the 2000s, whatever. But I have a huge interest for history.
You don't care about BC?
No, that's what I said ancient. So when I say ancient history, I go BC. So like my favorite topic to learn
I
about.
thought you said AD history.
I do a bit of that, but I'm saying I do both. I do
Yeah.
I do the ancient history, so BC, and then also a bit of AD. Not as much. Most of it's like ancient, because I have a huge passion for myself personally, like ancient Greek history. I find it like, super super interesting. But anyways,
Greek.
yeah, because they are the cornerstone for a lot of what Western civilization
Did
is.
somebody say shit?
They're you motherfucker. Yeah, they're the cornerstone for a lot of what Western civilization models their stuff on. Like democracy, first example of that was in Athens. The aspect.
You know what else was in Athens?
Yeah, you relax. We'll talk about the ass.
Anal rape.
We'll talk about the ass eating later, but the aspect of like history comes from
Rape.
ancient Greece.
Yep.
Rape has happened since like people had dicks and vaginas. So
You know, it was
talk about that.
actually going to sexuality in Greece. It was common for older men to date or fuck, like kind of like mistress wise, young boys.
Yes, they had no. It's yes and no. So I've actually
Tell me
looked
about
into
this. Yeah, you looked into it. Tell me about
because there's like a whole
Interest.
aspect of sexuality in Greece in terms of like
it. Right.
prostitution that we now consider that we now consider prostitution. So like an interesting thing about prostitution back in the ancient Greek days, you had and I don't know if I may have actually mentioned this to you before. You had aspects of you had levels of prostitution. You had your
Classes.
regular street level hookers or
Oof.
street level hoes
Yep.
that anybody could get.
Yep.
You just had to go to the
Alley
area
cat.
and do the
That's
thing.
what they call them. Alley cats.
And you even had like, and there was levels to that too. So you had like obviously like your fucking cheap ass like
lot lizards.
Big Mac level street hooker, or
Lot
you got
lizard.
your fucking like the keg level, but you still had street hooker. And then
Server slut.
there was something called the hetera, and they were more like modern day escorts. But the cool thing about the hetera was that they, as much as you chose them, they chose you.
But
So
but
just
did
'cause
you
you-
pay?
Yes.
So she fooled you, really?
No, because it's all understood beforehand. There's no secrets about this, but it's a fact of like
I got one question.
just
because
because you want her doesn't mean you will get her. So that was really interesting with the hetera. Is that
yes, this
they
is
had-
also interesting. What's going on right
they
now?
had to choose you as much as you chose them.
Yeah.
Not everybody could get them, but they were considered much better because it was basically like the girlfriend experience of what
Mm.
we consider like some hookers now,
Yeah.
but back then.
Yeah,
But anyways.
GFE as we call it, New Age 2021 GFE experience. My question is like, how was their hygiene? Because like,
Better than you think.
really? 'Cause
Also,
did they shave
another-
bush like in the fucking?
Maintained it, not shaved. No one shaves back in the day, but like yeah, trimmed.
What do you
obviously.
mean? How do they maintain? Like they have? Did they have scissors back then? Don't lie.
Yeah, they had shears. They also had like other ways of people cut their hair back then, man. It's not like they just let
I know,
it grow
but
out.
so they just like literally like if this is
Don't
the
get
bush,
distracted.
they
Don't
pull-
get distracted, please.
they
I was gonna
pull-
mention a few other interesting parts of ancient Greek history and why it's amazing. The other thing is too, modern medicine comes from ancient Greece.
Yeah, that's all great, Danny. But tell me, how did they shave the bush?
There's no one talks about that. That was not some hygiene was
Nobody
hygiene,
wants to talk about
hygiene
real
was
stuff.
important.
Listen,
Okay,
nobody wants to talk about real
You
stuff.
fucking-
Everybody's about that fake superficial shit.
you're an idiot. anyways, so yeah, so modern medicine. So when it comes to what you were just talking about, the fucking
Bush.
older men. No. Before that, but the older men
Old
with the
man
younger. Yeah.
dating, yeah,
So-
pedophiles.
Sexuality also back in the day was interesting because they were a monogamous society in terms of partners. Like if you had a partner, you had a partner. Like your wife was your wife.
Okay, but how's that monogamous if you're fucking?
Because in that sense it was monogamous, unlike in other civilizations and cultures where you could have multiple wives.
Okay, so Cubans are like this too. There's Cubans that
Don't just say Cubans.
No. There's a religion.
I remember. Yeah, we
yeah.
talked about some of our earlier podcasts.
So these guys,
Yeah.
in earlier podcast, the men that were all white, all the
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
week,
yeah, yeah,
okay,
yeah.
like the top line Yoel Romero looking motherfuckers. Because people don't think this, but like Cuba, they actually have really good genes. Like their gene pool is fairly good.
Yeah.
They're fucking in every sport. So that being said, a lot of those guys look like fucking Yoel if you're doing MMA. So if they're part of this religion and they're hard,
Yeah.
they're like walking prophets.
Okay.
And you'll have gay dudes that will blow them, but this is their mentality. They'll be like, he sucked me off.
Sure.
So I took his manhood.
So yeah, that's
kind of like the rap game.
totally unlike ancient Greece. So just to wrap this topic up, the older man, younger man relationship back in the ancient Greek days was surprisingly one done out of respect. And I'll explain this because it sounds really fucked up. You're like, what do you mean respect? It was not something like what people think of now, because you say what Armand just said earlier. You say that now, that's just straight up pedophiles. Like there's no other way around it.
Subway.
In the society we live in now, there's no way to describe that other than saying that as a pedophilic relationship. That's it. Back then, though, it was different because there wasn't an aspect of like molestation. It's not like older men were preying on young men and fucking them. It was more of, if you had a teacher, let's say you were studying the arts. Let me finish. Let's say you were like studying how to fucking play the harp, and your mentor was an older man. Because there's that level, there was already a relationship established there, and one of also respect, in terms of, you look up to him because he's your mentor.
Yeah, you blow him time to time.
No, seriously, that's how it'll work. So there would be a sexual relationship in that whole dynamic, but it's not like there were older men just picking up young men off the street and fucking them because they wanted to, or like a thing like dominance. The dominance aspect wasn't a factor in these dynamics.
Well, I think
so. That's very, very interesting because it's a very fucking strange. Like, why are there rules to kind of like a fucked up relationship to begin with? But there were back then, and not just rules, but like societal norms that we would totally not even like think of comprehending, because we're like, okay, first of all, if you're even gonna consider older men, young whatever, fuck it. So that's why it's a weird thing to like talk about, because when you look into it and how these relationships existed, you're like, what the fuck? But that's how they did it.
I don't think it's that weird. You can actually transition that with a lot of societal norms going up into, basically in the gay community, there's like twinks, and then there's like
what
bears.
do they call it?
Bears, and then like there's like different ones. There's like otters and
Yes.
stuff. Don't ask
Sure,
me how I
no,
know this.
but
It's literally because
you have friends. I know.
no, I used to work in a
Keep going.
in a community where I worked. Our downtown is like gay bar, straight bar, gay bar, straight bar, whatever. So it was like, you're going to get fired here because like you smoke weed on shift. Okay, then you go across the street, you get hired there, and you work there like on the weekends. It was a really easy way of like getting to know people in your 20s and just getting confidence, and just like, because, angry fucking Middle Easterns growing up, they have recently tough lives, so it's like you don't really belong in society, so you just like, you have to like throw yourself in the fire type of thing. So you become friends with like all these gay people, lesbians, she-males, just like all sorts of fucking people from all sorts of walk of life. And then you talk to them and shit, because I was like interested in what the fuck they had to say as far as what their culture is about.
They have good stories.
Yeah, it's better than just standing there fucking talking about bullshit. So, so it's basically like that teaching aspect.
There is also that too.
Yeah,
right?
that teaching aspect, I don't know how clear it is.
Yeah, or how to
But
find
there
it
is like a small young boy to older, muscular, older man.
Yeah.
Type of relationship. Now, how that translates to Greek, I don't know, but I think it's just a transition.
It sounds kind of similar actually, which is interesting. The other thing that you were mentioning, because earlier we're like the whole aspect of every culture, you said like derived to a point where gender was one of the main issues of the times in these respective cultures.
Yeah.
That actually reminds me a lot of how masculinity in general has changed over the course of human history. Because what we consider now to be masculine were not things back in the day. So the way we dress, the way men dress, there were different things over history that have been important as a man to have.
Yeah.
So like nowadays, if you think of what does right now a well-dressed man look like to you?
I think everybody's different. I think to me it's like a nice
In
little
general Western culture.
two-piece
Suit.
nice little
Like, describe the
yeah.
suit. Describe the suit.
Like,
Try and be specific.
like some Louis Vuittons. That's some basic simp shit, but like basically just like a nice suit. Like, you get like
I mean,
let's
what does a
say
suit look like? Is it
Old Nate
clean lines? Like what's the
clean
deal
lines,
here? What's the deal here?
no like real thick stretch like fucking threads or anything too fancy. Kind of just a clean, slim, athletic cut.
Yeah.
Fairly like if I want to have one word for the look, it's professional, but a hybrid.
Yeah, sure.
The fabric is not like the 50s where it's like fucking.
But keep bringing it down. So the pants, shoes, like describe the whole outfit.
You got like ankle high pants,
Trousers, pants, yeah.
and then you got your long socks, probably something fancy.
Yeah, yeah,
we're
yeah.
talking like birds on a plane, smoking a joint or
Yeah,
something.
sure,
like
sure.
real. Like to me, that's what I would do.
No. And shoes, what do shoes look like?
Shoes, I would have something like leather. Whether you want to be that vegan grower, shout out to my mom. She's like a vegetarian. I don't know if that's the same as vegan. Probably
Sure.
not.
Nope.
But anyway,
They look like Oxford
nice,
dress shoes.
yeah,
right?
nice little shoes. You know what I mean? A couple knots on them,
Sure.
and then just like red bottoms or something. You know what I mean?
See, so what's
Something like
interesting
that.
about that is, and that's actually that's a fucking really good outfit. I would rock that if I
Yeah.
whatever.
No
But-
tie though.
Fair enough.
Keep it open.
Ties. You know,
And a nice little, doesn't have to be like a Rolex or anything, but just a nice little
kind of
silver watch
Yeah.
on a tan skin looks nice.
yeah, and totally that's a great looking fucking outfit.
Pretty good, man.
But what's interesting is that you go back a few years, and I'm talking like hundreds of years, not like 10 years ago or whatever,
Yeah.
because we've had suits in our culture for a long time. But what you just described is almost like an ideal masculine male outfit.
Yeah.
You described a very good ideal masculine male outfit. Like if you describe someone as like masculine man, whether he's like super masculine in terms of like what he does, or whether even if he's kind of like dorky or dweeby, if you describe him bad, like you dress either of these people in that outfit, looks fucking great,
You look good.
and that's what we consider masculine. But take it back a couple hundred years, and masculine was way more flamboyant than you would think of now. Do you know who was that gay pianist in Vegas? Liberace.
Liberace.
The way Liberace dresses, I mean, to everybody listening, I understand that masculinity has changed a bit now in the last 10 years.
Let's look up Liberace.
In the last 10 years, masculinity has changed. Like now, people are like a bit more androgynous in how they dress. But I'm
Don't
saying,
get offended, people.
yeah, in like the up to 2010, the traditional masculine look, Liberace did not dress
Totally
like.
wrong.
There we go. That's second. Look at that second outfit right there.
God damn it, Liberace.
That is not something most people describe as masculine.
Bro.
However,
would I pull that pimp shit out though?
he would
I
be, or that outfit right there was like all sparkles and shit. He would be a king 300 years ago in France. Look up King Louis outfit.
Dropping bombs on this bitch.
Yeah, man. Look
Not
up
literally.
look up King Louis outfit. Any of them. Look at that shit.
Little young Louis King twink.
That
baby.
was the most masculine
Look at that
look.
stash, bro. That looks something like yours.
Mine's a bit
If I
better.
leave you in
Mine's better.
in celebs for a couple weeks,
Mine's
turn
better
real
than that.
quick into that, dude.
Mine's better than that. But that was the masculine outfit. That screams you are a king with money. You command legions. You are the fucking man. Like, you are the man.
You know what I think
That
killed
was
this?
the look.
You know what I think killed this?
What?
Like specimens, like genetic specimens from like
No.
Africa.
No.
No, not that killed this, like they killed them, went into war. But I think in my mindset as somebody like armchair quarterbacking,
Sure.
2000, like however long
Yeah.
civilization has had these kind of modes, I think picking sides, I would be biased because like I'm closer to one side than the other. But a bunch of these guys and a bunch of those guys, if you have it in society, you have 50% of each.
You're going about this the wrong way because I know what you're saying, but
wiped one out. Whether how sometimes it comes
doesn't
back,
apply this way because
sometimes it goes back. I
if-
think it depends on like the coincidence of birth across the
no,
world.
because
No?
those the culture that you just described,
Hormones
these
don't matter?
people, the rulers of that culture that you described and that you said would wipe out, they also dress like this. The reason is look up a female peacock. Do you know what a female peacock looks like?
I don't know, but it sounds interesting.
Spoiler alert: a female peacock looks boring as fucking shit.
I don't know, man. It looks pretty cool.
No, go to male and female. Which one looks more interesting?
The female looks hella submissive.
If
son.
you didn't know that it was male and female, like if it wasn't spoiled to you, which one would you guess with your preconceived mind
Yeah,
is male
no
and female?
shit, I know-
right?
I
The
know what
left.
you're saying,
You're like
so-
100%. The one with the fucking the
Yeah.
feathers in the back, that one's the female. Has to be. She's prettier. And all of a sudden the guy's like, actually, you know what? That's a male. The female's the one that's boring as fuck.
So what you're saying is that these guys were going based on the ideology of peacocking, and that's how they were.
Not just
fronting.
peacock in general. A lot of animals in the world, the males are the ones that are flamboyant, extravagant, the ones to look at. It's the males that are like the most beautiful looking, that we would consider beautiful looking, right?
Is that a patriarchy ideology, or is that like a general census type of thing?
No. I mean, like, if you consider colors to be beautiful, it is going to be the male animals that are the most colorful, the most beautiful. And
Across the board?
It's like really typical. Look up. I can't just give you the birds off the top of my head, but there are other birds, same ideas. Where
Okay, but fuck birds. Like anything else? I guess lions, Maine,
deer have the antlers.
Yeah, okay.
Females don't.
Yeah.
Lions got the mane.
Yeah.
Males got the mane. The girls don't.
Other than that, what? Rhinos kind of the same.
Yeah, same deal.
No, but they're the same. Like they look the same.
Yeah, no. Some of the other cats are about the same. I'm trying to think of other animals.
But basically, I get what you're saying. So,
and it's not
yeah.
okay. Hold on, it's not universe. It's not like every fucking animal's like this, right?
Yeah,
That's not
yeah.
what I'm saying. But a lot of them are like this, because the ones that are, it is that you make the most attention. You look the best. You get the best girl, and you are the best. Like you are considered top dog. And so it's possible. And like this is me, just Hector's opinion at this point.
Hector.
But that whole like the King Louis thing that I just showed you,
Yeah.
that kind of ideology was very similar in a lot of different cultures. It wasn't just Western culture. You had a lot of cultures where like the male ruler would look fucking like
Tanked.
glitzed out.
Yeah.
In the Incan society, like in my people's cultures,
Yeah.
the Incan societies, it was draped in gold. You look at them now, you'd be like, yo, bro, that's a bit much. You look a bit, like you said, look a bit twinky.
Yeah.
But that was the fucking look. Like, you would fucking walk down the stairs of your
But I mean,
temple
look
or
at-
whatever,
look in New Age-
draped in gold,
Yeah.
robes.
No, you're
whole
right.
deal,
You're
right?
100%
and
right.
then you would have the fucking warrior Adonis
Yeah.
yoked.
Yoked to shit.
You think would be like the physical alpha male prime, whatever, and he looks just boring, right? And then we look at him now, we're like, bro, this is the man. You are the specimen. You have to be the ruler. But back then it'd be like, no, this guy's like the fucking. He just does the fucking killing. He's a savage. He's not that important. He just does killing. He doesn't do anything. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't valued the way that we value it now. Interestingly enough. However, if you keep going back in history, then it kind of goes back to the whole more like primal, primitive nature of like strongest is king. And then it's like not so much, who's dressing the best and getting the most attention gets the best girl. It's like, no, who is literally the strongest, baddest man in this tribe? He's getting
most of the time.
He's getting the one.
I think it goes back and forth.
It does. It's really interesting because
Yeah.
You have animals that do that. Goats, mountain goats, mountain sheep, bighorn sheep. How do they compete for women? They're fucking literally mashing their fucking heads together.
Yeah.
And whoever comes out on top is the winner. Deer, antlers. They fucking they're fighting. Whoever comes out on top as physically is the winner. Gets the best
So
females.
this being said, just going to another aspect, because
Sure.
this is interesting as is, but it's going to something else. Do you think this is just gonna be fucking?
I mean,
weed
we're
talk?
already here.
This is gonna be weed talk. Do you think one of the dimensions can be understanding
Oh my god.
these animals? Because obviously they communicate to each other with some type of lingual. Because it's not just I look at you, you look at me. We like how do
Sure.
we have an understanding that this is the prize of the woman or whatever, and for that there has to be some type of communication, whether it's
Between the animals.
yeah, between
Okay,
the
okay.
animals, whether it's as you're growing up, like as a goat to a whatever.
So what's the question here?
My question is like, is there a dimension where that we understand these languages, like actual languages? Because I believe that, I mean, if they have communication, they have to have a language.
I think
whether it's
yes and no,
talk or
because
no or what.
language, the way that you understand it, is not something that's shared across different species.
I know that.
So
but
we consider language to be either a verbal or a visual thing that we will give to other people of our species. So either whether we're talking to them or whether we're visually giving them an indication. Like I'm talking with my hands, right? I'm doing this. You understand kind of what I'm saying? Not all animals do this. Some animals just communicate with touch. Some of them literally feel vibrations. So like bees, ants, like we're talking about, they're feelers. They're not talking with each other. They
I'm
communicate a different way.
I'm talking about like actual animals. Like I'm not talking about like insects and stuff. I get what you're saying as
Yeah.
far as communication, but I mean, how far off is that than sign language?
I actually think that
Sign language is
the-
pretty close.
what
to,
you're actually describing has actually been studied actually in depth, and there have been some advancements in terms of understanding different cues that animals will give
cues,
to others.
exactly.
So they're actually we do already have a level of understanding. However, we haven't gone the other way. Like
to communicate with them.
yeah, so like there have been advances made in terms of how we can understand what, because it's also, we need to understand that what we consider language is a very unique way of expressing communication.
For sure.
Other animals don't need to communicate the way that we do, right?
No.
It's not the same. They're not just saying words to get a message across. They can get a message across in a totally different way.
Right.
And so we have started to understand what some of these things mean. So like when a monkey calls out a certain way, because they'll whether they scream or whether they do this or that, we understand what these things mean now. But in terms of going the other way, I haven't personally seen anything that gives us an indication that we can actually do that the other way around.
Man,
that would be
think
fucking
about
crazy.
You're like sitting with a fucking gorilla.
No, man,
and
fuck
you're
that.
talking to him and shit.
Imagine
and
if you could
smoking
talk
weed.
with your dog, Senora.
Yeah.
Imagine, seriously, think of that.
Like, what do you want? What do you want to do?
Imagine,
son?
no, seriously, right?
Park.
That'd be crazy.
Park now.
Yeah.
But it'll be repetitive like that though. Like,
Yeah.
do you ever remember that movie Up or whatever the fuck?
Yeah.
Where he had that one dog that could talk.
Yeah.
They love you.
Yeah.
It's like
Yes.
that's probably what it's gonna be like, right? It's gonna be very primitive mindsets. And I think a gorilla might have something better to say, but you think you're gonna sit down with a gorilla and be like, "Hey, what
That's
do you
why I
think?"
said it's very unique to us.
Yeah.
right?
What do you think? What do you think
Yeah,
the
okay.
meaning of life is?
Yeah,
and he's
yeah.
gonna be like, don't understand. Like, you know
Not
what I
even
mean?
that. He'd be like, sex. Sex. Fuck.
Sex. Fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
Sex. Banana.
And all of a
fuck,
sudden,
yeah.
like, he's hungry. He's like, hungry. Food. You know what I mean? Like, who knows? Or maybe
Yeah.
it is more complex. Fucking,
More
I don't know.
complex. Who knows?
But it is an interesting thing to think about because they're like, well, where would that actually get us?
So, from gorilla to Chris Hemsworth, okay?
Gorilla to human gorilla.
Yeah.
Or
so,
kind of gorilla.
kind of gorilla.
Gorilla from the waist up.
So you know, out of 10, what do you think the odds are? No, not out of 10, but just what do you think the odds are of him being on the, Zazul?
I think our boy, More Place, More Dates, went over this guy, I think.
Yeah.
I think the consensus was yes, Sauce. Pretty
well,
sure, right?
I mean, he blows up so significantly.
It was yes, I
it would
think.
have
Pretty
to
sure.
be. And another thing I would just have to say is that He is very tall. People don't understand.
Very tall guy. What is he, 6'2"?
6'4".
Fuck me.
So he's 6'4". To get any kind of
Size. Noticeable
like,
size.
Like me and Vic, we used to work out, okay,
Yeah, sure.
together. And we're like 18, 19 years
Yeah,
old.
yeah.
And I was, at that point, I was working out probably like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
And I'm about 6 foot.
Yeah.
And Vic's like 5'7",
Yeah.
5'8".
8. Yeah, 8.
Yeah, 5'8". And Vic worked out with me for a summer, literally got a bigger back than me by the end of the summer. And it was redonkulous. It wasn't that he had actual bigger back, but it was his lat size in that like small frame looked ridiculous.
Yeah, so we talk about like noticeable size.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Because that is totally different from like
3 months, dude.
actual size. Because actual size, like, okay, let's take the tape measure and do the thing.
Yeah.
But like, we're talking about like noticeable. Like, if somebody who has no idea about this
No
this
idea.
game just looks at you,
Yeah.
what do they? Yeah,
Do they
so,
see something?
So like you said, to put on noticeable size on a guy that
huge.
size, man, that's a lot of mass.
It's a lot of mass, and it's like he has to get in a lot more calories. Like all these things are multiplied, right? Like
Yeah.
his liver functions have to be better.
Jesus, man.
His
There's
heart's-
There's a lot going
There's
on.
a lot going on. Yeah, these guys are millionaires and stuff. I'm sure they're on like the best fucking health clinic diets like that
Yeah,
they could
yeah.
be on, and fucking, Mexican supplements.
Sure.
And hey, Mexican supplements for
Mexican
sure. But yeah, so basically, if you look at this guy, right, all the androgenic areas that he could be big in, he is, like shoulders, traps.
Yeah.
Like he's very. The muscles that are gonna significantly show
Yeah.
that someone's on sauce, it's showing, and the ones that wouldn't, because of genetics,
Right.
are showing as well. His fucking calves are tiny as shit. There's
No,
a reason for that.
Do we think that's a bad photo, or is that him actually having small legs and calves?
So
Look, go scroll down, pull up that one on the left. That's actually okay. That's okay. And then
that's pretty good.
yeah. So was that just a bad photo, or like look at him stretching? Yeah, right there. That's about as good as it's gonna get. The one on the left. Well, yeah, that one. That's about as good as it's gonna get. He's engaged in some kind of physical activity, so he's doing a thing.
They're not. Actually, they're pretty good. I just think that
For everybody,
you have to look at it like this.
Yeah.
When you're taking this photo, right? This calf is close to where his arms are, and his arms are reaching forward.
Right.
Now, would this look different? If he's like doing like a front double bi? Yes, yes, it would look significantly
yeah.
different. Now, aesthetically, your calves are supposed to be almost the same size as your biceps. Let's say he's not like a true bodybuilder or anything like that. He's just a fucking
Yeah.
film
So
star.
that photo right there, that's a good one. Where he's
This
walking.
one?
Yeah, that's a good one.
All right. So at this point, his inner calf
Is okay,
lining
yeah.
is good.
It's the
really
outer
good.
one.
It's the outer
That one's
one that
rough.
isn't and that just it's just strictly genetic. And if you've done like a lot of agility work, you see this being overdeveloped in like
Right.
football players
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the
yeah.
NFL. Like they
Yeah,
got like
yeah.
and Africans are actually, because they're so agile, their Achilles tendon is so much longer genetically, so their inner is actually smaller. So this guy is like, his genetics are like pretty much opposite of like a really good African gene.
Sure.
Because they would have the complete opposite generally.
Right.
They would have really fucking small calves and really good exterior calves. So
Right.
him, I just think his blow up was significant. Whether
Yeah.
his calves are good or bad, I mean,
So
take a look
is it
at
worth
this,
it
dude.
at this point for this guy to get calf implants? I mean,
I
it's
don't think
Hollywood,
about
baby.
calf. Listen, this is what I would think of. I would think of like, I would call up my boy Boston Lloyd, and I would get that 3cc protocol on calves. Okay, 3cc outer,
Jesus.
3cc inner. That shit would blow up in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, no
now
kidding.
you don't have to do it that much, but honestly, I think
It's worth it
getting the oil for him, because he's
for
a
him. That's what I'm saying. Not just for
it's
him.
not normal person shit. This is like you're trying to be the best of the best. You're on movies and shit. I would do that, and I would try to actually work on my neck. A lot of problem with these guys, like they have the situation look. Have you ever seen The Situation?
Yeah. I think
Let me
from-
show you the
from
situation
from back in the
look real
day. You're,
quick.
you're talking like fucking Jersey Shore.
Yeah. So the problem with The Situation is like let's just take a look at this. He's got a decent
Yeah,
body.
December body.
Now, is this a lot of Sazul and like fucking
Bruh, it's Jersey
you
Shore,
know,
no shit.
Spanish Mongoli
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
food
yeah, yeah.
and no neck gains or what? But yeah, that's basically what it is. A lot of these guys, like even in like you could even look at them on the circuit, like on the IFBB circuit.
Yeah.
They are really good neck down, but neck up they actually are like lacking. Like Kevin Levrone was one of them. Kevin Leverone's neck.
I remember Lerone, yeah.
Yeah, amazing body. He could have probably won it if
It was
Ronnie wasn't in
Levrone,
there.
right?
Levrone.
Levrone, yeah.
So he had
What about Paul Dillett? Because he was a tall guy
Paul
too, right?
Daly?
No,
Paul-
Dillett.
Yeah. I knew who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paul Dillett has his own league now.
It's a DI. Yeah. Yeah, there we go.
Okay, but take a look at this fucking neck,
Some of these
son.
are photoshopped. Hold on. Where's like the rig? Yeah, that. I think that was.
No, that's definitely Photoshop.
Yeah,
Come on, son. Bro, that's if your neck is the
Look at
same
that.
size
Yeah.
of your like if you're doing this, right?
Yeah.
And your neck is the same size as your jaw, you did it great.
Yeah.
Like if you're doing this and your neck is like exactly here,
Sure.
bro, that's perfect. That's like what you want. Now are there guys that's way fucking thicker than this? Fuck
Didn't this
yeah.
guy have like 19-inch arms, like 20-inch arms?
He was tall too. He was like
Yeah, that's what I'm
6'2".
saying. Because he was like 6 whatever.
Yeah, so he was fucking huge.
6'4".
No, he wasn't.
6'4".
Where?
Up there.
No, bro, he's 185.
193 it says.
Okay, well, this is where I don't know where this is from, but I'm pretty sure this is wrong. I'm like
Just
100%.
Google height, because I know he was a tall mother.
I'm
for
100%.
For a bodybuilder, he was tall as
Hey,
fuck.
you want to do a one punch? You
No,
want to
enough with your. You always want to bet punches, man. Bet money.
Yeah. So
I
I think somebody changed that.
6'2". Yes,
6'2", yeah.
6'2".
So
Why does it? Was he? Was he taller at one point? Maybe I don't know.
no, I don't think so.
Anyways,
You know,
tall dude,
2 inches is
a lot
like,
of mass.
you do a lot of fusing for that. Yeah. So a lot of mass, but generally this looks a lot better than the fucking situation.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But yeah. Yeah. One last thing I want to ask you.
What you got? About to wrap soon.
Wrap it up. What do you think of? How do you think is the world ever gonna come back from this, or is this gonna be something we carry on? Like, are we gonna talk about it like this? Are we gonna talk about this corona in 30 years' time? Like, I remember when it happened, and it was over.
Dude.
Or are we gonna be like this? Are we gonna be like, man, it was year and a half where I was tripping ass and the world was tripping, and thank God it's back to normal now. What do you think if you had to, what's like over and under? What do you?
Hold on, what do you mean? Those are like
Okay.
Well, those two things didn't make much sense.
Okay, I'm baked.
Yeah. No. Try again.
Yeah, try again. Okay, so in 30-year time
Yeah.
from now, are you gonna look back on Corona
Yes.
and say, I remember the day the world changed
Sure.
forever?
Yeah. Okay.
Or are you going to say, man, when I was a kid or when I was in my 20s,
Yeah.
you kids have it great. When I was a kid, we had the corona for a year and a half. We had to get these vaccines.
Oh, so you're thinking like
is it going to be like something like polio? Or is it going to be like a fucking movie where the world's changed forever?
Okay, so absolutely, this is going to be one of the most talked about events in human history, in modern human history. This is a world changer in so many ways.
Open your eyes, girls and boys.
For the next little while, people are going to be like, this will be studied for like forever.
100.
This is going to be studied intensely for the next like 50 years.
20.
People are going to literally be born now, grow up, and do their thesis on this. Like that's going to be their life. Some people's lives are literally going to revolve around the study of this, not just coronaviruses, but COVID-19, right? However, do I think this is going to be some like world changer in terms of like how we interact as a society? I don't think as much as people think, although I do think there will be some changes we carry with us for a very long time. Now, if you want to get specifics, that one's tricky because I'm not sure. Is it going to be like Asian societies where they got hit with a couple of really big viruses? Not just SARS. We're talking like they also got hit with like avian flu pretty bad a few times and stuff like that. And all of a sudden now they have a very keen sense for how to interact with viruses.
Do you remember the Toyota Avalon?
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
Okay. Where a lot of Asian communities have a very good sense of how to manage a virus. Like as soon as anybody, or just in general, not even epidemics, but just getting sick in general. Where if you get sick,
Shout out to South Korea.
if you get sick, you're putting on a mask just because it's normal. You know what I mean? Like if you're
they were putting on masks in 2001.
If you're coughing, you put on a mask because it just makes sense. You don't whatever. And all the other things that they manage to change with how they react to pandemics will be. I think those things we will probably take some of those things on going forward because I think they're actually pretty reasonable things to do. It's you learn and you live. Like you live and you learn. I fucked that up. However, when it comes to these other like grandiose predictions that people have about like how we're all going to change and how we work and interact and no, I don't think it's going to be that aggressive because funnily enough, and I've seen it here and I see it in other places from the people that I talk to in other countries. A lot of people have managed to keep doing what they've always done pre-pandemic, even now, because they enjoy those things. So when it comes to, seeing their friends, they'll find a way to sneak out and see their friends just because they want to. They enjoy that. Sure. And
why not?
Yeah, right? And people still are talking about the things that they miss and they want to do when things open up. So they're still looking forward to going to concerts. They're still looking forward to going to the bar, grabbing a drink, getting drunk with their friends. They're still enjoying or looking forward to playing sports again.
So you're saying significantly it's not going to change, but because people are going to do the same hobbies?
Yes, a lot of people's interests have stayed the same. Some of them have increased a lot. So online gaming is gotten huge nowadays because if you're at home, what the fuck are you going to do, right? Just like teleconferencing in general has gotten a lot bigger now because a lot of people who never used it before were forced to use it now. But when people start talking about how all of a sudden cities are going to change and jobs are going to change and all this, I don't think it's going to be as extreme as people think. I think there are going to be some good changes that come out of this. I think that if you now on your resume when you're looking for a job request to work remote, it's not going to be as big of a deal breaker as it used to be. Because before, there were some job positions where if you said remote, they're like, fuck it, we're just going to get somebody local. We're not going to have you remote. We want you here.
All the tech is moving remote, man.
Yes and no, right? Because I think there's some stuff like, for example, at my work, we have found very creative ways to do things remote because we were literally forced to. We wouldn't have wanted to in some situations, but we had to. However, that was only because there was no other way. But as soon as things kind of come back to a point where it's more of a choice, there are some things, like I said, the whole working remote, that's going to be way more acceptable nowadays for my company specifically. But there are other things that we're going to go back to, quote unquote, the old way right away because it just makes more sense. It's more efficient and it's better for everybody involved. So I don't think some of these huge changes that people are predicting are going to happen, but I do think there are going to be some things that we will take with us going forward. And it is actually going to affect but it's going to be part of our daily lives.
Hopefully these effects are not, like herpes.
Nah.
You know what I mean?
Not like that. You might have to take a shot every 2 years for some like new brand of Corona, but that's about it.
New brand of Corona, huh?
Is that what
they're calling it? Is that the Trudeau terms?
COVID-20, baby. Wait till COVID-20. You had COVID-19? Wait for COVID-2020.
I'm still waiting for Trump 2024.
Christ.
You think things going to win? What's her face?
No, we want... Who?
Caitlyn?
No, fuck that.
Caitlin's not going to win, huh?
No.
God damn it. Yeah, so good little episode, man.
Great one.
Good little episode. We got baked. My boy is hella baked. I'm fucking
New planet.
shattered, son.
Yeah, you're in a different place.
I'm dark.
Put those glasses back on.
Yeah, I'm deep in this, and I'm enjoying it, man. It's beautiful. So, new announcement. We are on fucking Apple Podcast.
We are officially on Apple Podcast, which now means we are on every single major podcast platform out there. So make sure to like, follow, subscribe.
Like a good babushka.
Anywhere you are. Instagram, we got @FunnyButFoul Podcast. YouTube, Funny But Foul. Spotify and Apple as well, and all your other major podcast platforms.
Yes. All that good shit. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, share us, show us love. we'll show you love, man.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, you know. That's what it's all about, baby. Another one, man. Proud of you.
You too, man.
Peace.